The movie I chose to watch was The Big Red One, released in 1980. In World War I, an American soldier kills a German soldier and takes the red trim off his hat. He then patches it onto the arm of his sleeve. 25 years later, that red patch, the Big Red One, becomes the insignia of the U.S. 1st Infantry Division. The next scene begins in World War II, where we see the same soldier as a sergeant of the 16th Infantry, 1st Squad, 1st Platoon, 1st Company, a part of the Big Red One. We never find out his name, since he is always called Sergeant. We follow him and 4 of his men throughout the rest of the movie. Griff, a sharpshooter and cartoonist, Johnson, a pig farmer with hemorrhoids, Vinci, a street kid, and Zab, a writer. The movie then shows us scenes of the areas that this infantry fights in. The first scene of war they show is at a beach in Algeria in 1942. They then head to the Kasserine Pass. From there, they go to Sicily in 1943, then in 1944, Omaha Beach and Germany. The last place the movie shows is Czechoslovakia in 1940. Its emphasis is on humanity, the cost of war, and the sacrifices that soldiers make. In the scene where they are on Omaha Beach, they literally showed the self-sacrifices they made. The soldiers had to place a Bangalore under the barbed wire to escape the beach. A Bangalore is a 50-foot long pipe filled with 85 pounds of TNT. It is assembled along the way to the barbed wire. Many died trying to assemble the pipe and drag it further. The movie also showed the racism against the Italians. Vinci, who is Sicilian, was told that someone didn't believe he could kill another Sicilian. Throughout the whole movie, racist terms were sprinkled in, such as Dago. However, it also showed Vinci's friends defending him. The Big Red One came to be in 1917. No one actually knows how the Big Red One got its name. One possible explanation was that during World War I, the 1st Division supply trucks were made with a Big Red One on the side to help distinguish their trucks from their allies, because the trucks were made by a British company. The actual Big Red One did also fight in Algeria in November. Although they didn't give the specifics of the place they fought at in the movie, the real 16th Infantry fought on the beach near the city Erzurum. The invasion was called Operation Torch. It was also accurate that they were pushed back during the Battle of Kasserine Pass. Their scenes in Africa were all accurate, but didn't show all of the battles they fought there. The battle in Sicily was also accurate. The battle was relatively bloodless, as expected, landing on the beach. The movie showed that they were later hit by snipers and hidden tanks in houses, but didn't really show how hard it was for the troops to fight back until they got more arms. The grim battle on Omaha Beach on D-Day was all true, even the struggles with the barbed wire. Lieutenant Spaulding and Sergeant Philip Stretsky were the real people who were able to cross the wire. We did win the battle at the cost of many lives. In the movie, they showed them fighting in an unnamed forest, being hit by snipers. That unnamed forest was Hurtgen Forest near Aachen, Stolberg, and Hamelitz, Germany. They don't actually show the Battle of the Bulge, only showing short clips of them walking through the forest covered in snow. The movie said they were in Czechoslovakia, but didn't say the specifics. Apparently, they were near the city Schleb, and that is when the war ended, May 7th, 1945. The movie was accurate and went into the details as much as it could without going too in-depth. I would highly recommend this movie. A lot of war movies focus on the blood and gore of war. However, this film shows the terribleness of war in other ways. Throughout the movie, the characters don't try to get close to the other soldiers. They didn't want to form attachments. One of the characters they eventually get close to while they are in Sicily dies in Germany from a sniper. It also shows the humanity of characters and how the war changes them. In the beginning of the movie, Griff isn't able to bring himself to kill another soldier. But by the end of the movie, after seeing the horrors of a concentration camp, he's finally able to. The movie also shows how bad Sergeant feels after killing the German in the beginning of the movie, who was saying that the war was over. The sergeant didn't believe him, only to find out that the war was actually over. At the end of the movie, he makes the same mistake. However, this time he was able to save the soldier. The war affected a wide range of people. One example was the children. Throughout the movie, the characters are helping the orphans created by the war. They help a little boy get a coffin for his mother. They pulled along her body in a cart to get her to an area where they could get a coffin for her. At the end of the movie, Sergeant feeds a Jewish kid who was in an internment camp and shows the turmoil he goes through when the child dies as he is carrying him. He continues to carry the child for another 30 minutes. The movie didn't talk about how the war affected Americans specifically. Rather, the movie used the characters to represent the different personalities of the soldiers in the war and their take on it. Zab just viewed the war as a way to get more material to write about. Griff represented the pacifist feelings about the war. Hudson represented the innocence of not knowing what he was getting into. Vinci represented the flippant and the restless.